All right, it's time for a collection update after the whole Kentucky and Tennessee trip. Here's Yoda. I took away his Eagle Rare. He's pissed. It's all right, he'll get over it. So, my whole collection has been mostly local stuff. So, if we look over here, I've got a lot of Cedar Ridge, and just kind of your basic stuff. I think you can get this at most of the places um, around, and so it's nothing really special. Some of the things I did pick up was the 1792 full proof store picks. I did get one at Cox and Evergreen. Let's see if I'm going to move in here. And then one at Liquor Barn. Then I showed you that I did get the HK Young Weeded from Barrelheads. And then these are just a couple of shelfers that I had. Nothing special here. Let's see here. I picked up a Wild Turkey 101.8 in Tennessee. We don't have those here. Can't see them anywhere in the stores, so got one there. This was at Riverton Party Store. So this, you can see, Riverton Party Store. That's one of their picks. 8-year. I was actually trying to get a 8-year reserve. Old Dominic. Couldn't find him. But this is an 8-year single barrel. So it's got to be as good, if not better, right? And then here I've got their 7-year weeded. Then behind here, 117 extra extra old. Have a bunch of Old Forester product. The 1910, 1920, those I got just to try with my friends that are getting into bourbon, and they had some of those as their first couple of bourbons. So I was like, yeah, I'll have them with you. I acquired this Old Forester King Ranch from a private party sale here. So Iowa, obviously, we can't get the King Ranch because it's a Texas only thing, but I've got them. Then I've got a couple of 1924s. I believe there's a 24, 25, 26. I mean, that one right there is the one I got at Old Forester itself. Then I've got some barrel pick, single barrel rye. This one's I got a private party through, looks like they got it through Davidson's in Colorado. And then the one behind it is also a Riverton store pick, and that one's a Coy Hill. It's a 1-10. Costco had these heritage barrels for $59.99, so I bunkered a bunch of them. And then at auction, I was able to get a couple of those early times black caps. And then Riverton Party Store had a bunch of these early time blue cap for $20. So I got those. And then this is the new Green River Weeded Full Proof. In Owensboro, I noticed that the master distiller signed a couple of those bottles. So even though I said that I was only going to get one, I ended up getting three for $34.99 each because I got two of the signed ones. So pretty cool. I alluded that I had the short barrel pre-purchased. I got a couple of those. I've got one more. They had them for $99.99 at somewhere in Louisville, so I got an extra one. I was like, why not? The After Swarm I could only find in Owensboro. Actually, I didn't see it anywhere else, so I got it there. And then this was a store in, let's see, where was that? That was in either Clarksville or Paris, Tennessee, that they had the double oak. And then just for parody purposes, I got the 1 liter Buffalo Trace. I tried to get some 1.75 liters, but I couldn't find them at a good price. They were all way overpriced. I don't know why, but it's whatever. And then I have the Hardin's Creek. I got the whole trio, the whole set from the different warehouses. I told you in the Owensboro video that I got these Willet Purple Tops. Got 2 of those. And then Jackson Purchase. Man, I love that stuff. I haven't even opened these just because I want to save them. Oh, man. I want to go back down over here. I'm from eastern Iowa, so we have Cedar Ridge. Cedar Ridge is probably the #1 bourbon in the state of Iowa. It outsells pretty much everything. It is really good. I suspect, though, that it's pot stilled just by the taste of it. I think they probably confirmed that. I didn't think it's a big secret or anything. However, the depth of flavor is really difficult on pot still, but they're still really good for if you get the barrel proof. If you can get things at higher proof, I had some of the normal just bourbon that was like 86 proof the other night at a concert, and I was not happy with that. But these barrel proof, the single barrel, the honey rye, the double barrel, I have not opened the Sir Maple, but yeah. And then this is actually, now that we're talking about Riverton Party Store, this is a Circle City straight wheat. I tried this in the store, amazing, so I had to get it. Let's see here. Here is that 49.98 single barrel. Really, really, really looking forward to trying that. And then a Southern Star Paragon, which I've seen a lot of good things. And this is cast strength, so it can't be that bad. This is one of the Watch Hill proper bottles that I got from there. It's a rye, really, really good. This is their chef series. I think you can only get it at the restaurant itself. Really good. And then this is a B525. I know this compares somewhat to C923. It's not quite, but for what's accessible, I got this at John O's in Elizabethtown. So they had them, so I grabbed it. Let's see here. Moving up, is there anything else that I want to look at here? I don't think so. I was able to get 2 Russell Reserves 13s while I was on my trip. This one is a spring 2025, and then this one is actually a 2022. It's an LLKE, so that's pretty crazy. I don't know how good the 2022 one was, but it can't be that bad if it's a Russell Reserve 13. So, yeah. This is the Watch Hill Definitive Series 8 year. I think this was Series 7, yes. So Series 7, really, really good. I tried this at the bar. You can see I've already cracked it open once, but I have to limit myself because I can just drink all of that. That's crazy. For 108 proof, it drinks amazing. Then I got some Eagle Rare 12, Eagle Rare 10, and then I got the 1.75 Eagle Rare 10 just because I wanted to have that sitting on my shelf. I think it's hilarious. The required Blanton's. This is a Blanton's Gold. I got this for MSRP in Tennessee. This is in Paris. Got it at MSRP. And then there's just a couple of regular Blanton's right there. At Watch Hill, they had a Buckner's 13 store pick. So I picked that up, 142.2 proof. It's going to be delicious. And then I picked up a Buckner's 10. I don't remember where that's from. All right, let's check. John O's. Nice. So you know it's good. And then there's there's a small batch bourbon from Augusta, and then behind that's the small batch wheated that I got from Barrelheads. Then I've got a bunch of small batch, and then I picked up the barrel proof for really good price at Liquor Palette. That was a really good buy. And then I've got all the Stag 25Bs you can imagine. That's 25B, 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 and then finally a 25A. 24A. I picked that up at somewhere in Louisville as well. If I remember, I'll just tag it here where I put that. 25C, which is interesting. The 25C has a different sticker than pretty much every single Stag. I don't know why. It's like super, super copper. I don't understand it, but I don't know. Let your conspiracy theory fly. And then 25B, and then this is a Marshall BWS here in Iowa store pick. If you have points and stuff like that with the store, you can get that. And then I've got a myriad of store pick Weller full proofs. Shelfer store proof, or full proof, excuse me. And then a 107 I got at discount 54 in Owensboro, store pick. And then this is the one I've been drinking on, plus a Weller 12. Then behind there you can see there's an Elmer T. Lee, and that's where my Blanton's that I drink from is there. And then our last shelf here, I have an old Charter Oak. I got that off of auction. I got that for super cheap. And then there's a Old Fitz 10 decanter, Michter's Toasted, and then a Orphan Barrel, along with a Booker's 2503. Back behind there. Then we see the old Carters that I got in Kentucky. This is all in Louisville. This is the batch 15 that's signed by Mark Carter. If you looked at my vlog, you'd know that story. Then I got a KY4 bourbon. I picked up the King of Kentucky small batch trio, the full set of the small batch. And then I did find an extra batch 2 for MSRP. So I picked that up so that way I can drink one of them immediately. I did find a old Rip 10 for pretty cheap considering. I think this was, I want to say like $300, $350, which a lot of people would say that's still a ripoff, but considering what they go for, I'll take it. And then there's my two 2025 George T. Stags. Excited to crack one of those. Get into it. So yeah, so that's my collection so far after my trip. If you have any questions or anything, obviously let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one.